Our next extract is $1,000 by O. Henry. Now in this extract, the author is trying to talk about a person named Gillian who acquires $1,000 from his deceased uncle's will. Now he doesn't know how to spend these $1,000, and this is whole extract where we get to know that money is all temporary and one's happiness is the entire reason for living behind. People generally tend to love and run behind money, talking just about money, but we need to understand that money is momentarily. One moment you have a lot of money, the other moment you might not have it. So learning the key essence and beauty of life, we need to understand money is not the entire thing. Although it just gets you comfort and happiness, but it is not the entire happiness that we need to attain in life. So $1,000. Now this is a very strong story which is expressed very beautifully. Now let's have a look at the key points of the summary. Now young Gillian gets $1,000. Young Gillian, whose uncle feels that this guy Gillian is not worthy of it. He is not very responsible and does not know how to spend this money. So out of this whole of the condition, in the whole of the extract, he gets $1,000. He has to show to his uncle's lawyers, that is Tolman and Sharp, that how he spends his $1,000. Now if he spends these $1,000 selflessly, very wisely and wittifully, he will be given bonds of $5,000, which is a secret thing which is eventually revealed throughout the story, and let's see how. Now Gillian is handed over with $1,000 he receives as a part of the will of his deceased uncle. So he moves out on the streets to spend these $1,000, a meeting with old Bryson. Now he goes to a club and he meets an old friend, Bryson, who actually confuses him on how to spend these $1,000. He tells him to go and buy an apartment or spend one night over a grandeur hotel, and he gives him various ways where he gets confused and he gets irritated. Eventually what Gillian does, he leaves that place and moves to a theatre, moves to a Corbin theatre. Now here he starts consulting people. Moving to the theatre, he talks to Miss Loita and asks her how would she feel if he gives her a pendant worth $1,000. She seems quite unimpressed because she herself is wearing a necklace of more than $2,500, which of course pisses him off more, and he moves out of the theatre. Moving out of the theatre, he gets into a cab and he asks the cab driver if he gets those $1,000, what would the cab driver do? Now he's consulting random strangers, and when he asks this to his cab driver, the cab driver gives him a response that he would like to open up a salon because that is what his passion is. Eventually on the street he sees a blind man selling pencils. Now he goes and asks the similar question to blind man. Eventually we are understanding that Gillian is finding it very hard to just spend those $1,000, and he is consulting various people, various strangers on the street on how to spend those $1,000. Now in the meanwhile he moves on to Miss Hayden and selflessly gives away $1,000 to Miss Hayden and writes it as a note on how he has spent those $1,000, and moves to the lawyer's office of Tolman and Sharp. Now Tolman and Sharp already know that if Gillian spends these $1,000 skillfully, wittifully and promisingly with a great responsibility and selflessly, then they will hand over the $5,000 bond to him, which he is supposed to get as a reward. But eventually what happens, out of unworthiness and selfishness, Gillian tears off the written note of the envelope and he moves out, renouncing a huge fortune. Now leaving behind a huge fortune of huge money amount, and helping the author to explain by the end of the story that money at a moment Gillen had $1,000, and on the other hand, having $5,000 in hand, he just tore away a big, huge fortune with his own hands. Now, this is what fortune is all about. This is what life is all about. Money is not the entire forecast of a life, and this is what O. Henry has tried to explain in this extract. That is all for the day. All the very best for your exams.